Good evening, and welcome. As you settle into the gentle stillness of your night, allow your breath to soften and unwind, like a slow candle flickering in a calm room. This is your moment of rest, your quiet sanctuary at the edge of sleep, where time slows down and the world loosens its grip on you. Tonight, we drift into a soft, atmospheric journey through the life of a man almost forgotten by history, a blacksmith in rural Vermont whose quiet genius helped shape the modern world. This is the story of Thomas Davenport, the electric motor pioneer, a man who worked not in laboratories but in a humble workshop where the scent of iron, wood, and early dreams hung gently in the air. Let this story unfold around you like a warm blanket, inviting you to drift deeper into stillness, deeper into comfort, deeper into the peaceful rhythm of sleep. Tonight, you are not here to analyze or study. You are simply here to listen, to breathe, to rest, and to wander slowly through a life that moved quietly, softly, almost unnoticed, yet altered the course of history in ways most people never realize. Let your eyelids grow heavy, your thoughts loosen, and your body sink into the calmness of this moment as we begin. There is a quiet sadness woven into Thomas Davenport's story, a gentle kind of mystery that drifts beneath the surface. In 1834, long before electricity powered cities, before wires lined streets, before engines hummed in every machine, he built something no one else in America had ever created, an electric motor. And yet, almost no one believed him. Almost no one supported him. His invention, so far ahead of its time, glowed briefly in the dark like a small lantern, only to fade into obscurity. Tonight, we explore this forgotten brilliance, not with urgency, but with the soft curiosity of a dreamer, gently tracing the contours of a man whose genius was ignored, whose legacy quietly powers the world around us even now. In the early 1800s, Vermont was a place of deep forests, crisp winters, and small wooden homes that creaked softly in the cold. Thomas Davenport was born into this quiet landscape in 1802, growing up surrounded by the sounds of hammers striking iron, the low hum of wind against the hills, and the slow, deliberate rhythm of rural life. He became a blacksmith, not out of ambition, but necessity, shaping metal with a steady hand, learning how things moved, how they fit together, how they responded to heat and pressure. His workshop was small, dimly lit, the air warm with the glow of a forge. It was here that he first began to wonder about the strange invisible force that would later define his life: electricity. He had no scientific training, no formal education, no mentor guiding him. What he had was curiosity, quiet, unshakable curiosity. And in the evenings, when the village fell silent and the forge cooled, Davenport would sit with simple tools and scraps of metal, listening to the faint ticking of his thoughts. It was during these late hours, under candlelight soft enough to blur the edges of his world, that he began experimenting with electromagnets. He studied pieces of iron that moved as if touched by invisible hands, wires that carried a power he could not see but somehow felt in his bones. Every discovery, every spark of insight was quiet, private, almost intimate. And by 1834, using nothing more than handmade coils, scraps of iron, and the kind of determination born from solitude, Davenport built the first American electric motor. not a prototype on paper, but a real, turning, humming machine. Small, imperfect, but astonishing, especially in an age when most people still lit their homes with candles and traveled in carriages. He had built something the world wasn't ready to understand. The motor sat on a wooden base, coils wrapped with his own hands, and when electricity flowed through it, the small rotor began to turn with a gentle, persistent motion. Not loudly, not dramatically, but with the soft whisper of possibility. Davenport watched it spin with a mixture of awe and serenity, aware that he had stepped into a future only he could see. He used this motor to power a miniature model of an electric carriage, decades before the idea of electric vehicles entered public imagination. It was quiet, smooth, almost magical, and yet almost no one believed in it. He traveled to different towns trying to show investors what he had built, but to wealthy industrialists, Davenport was just a poor blacksmith from Vermont. They couldn't imagine that such world-changing innovation could come from someone without prestige, without wealth, without connections. Many dismissed him outright. Some laughed gently, not out of cruelty, but disbelief, unable to see the future glowing softly before them. But Davenport persisted. He applied for a patent, not because he believed it would make him rich, but because he wanted the world to acknowledge what he had done. In 1837, he received U.S. patent number 8783, officially recognizing his electric motor. This fragile piece of paper, stamped by the patent office, became one of his proudest possessions. And even with official recognition, the world didn't open its doors. Batteries at the time were weak and expensive, making his motor difficult to demonstrate for long periods of time. Factories had no infrastructure to support electricity. Investors simply couldn't imagine a world where motors were powered by anything other than steam. And so his creation, brilliant, visionary, decades ahead of its time, sat in a quiet workshop, gathering dust. Davenport continued experimenting, exchanging letters with scientists, building new coils, refining his designs, hoping that someone, someday, would understand. But years passed. Support never came. The world moved on without him. He grew older, still experimenting, still dreaming in the dim glow of his workshop. His wife, Emily, supported him endlessly, helping him wind copper coils by hand, sharing his belief even when others did not. The two of them worked in gentle companionship, shaping the faint outlines of a future only they could glimpse. But the burden was heavy, and the financial strain grew. When Davenport died in 1851, he passed quietly, without fame, without wealth, his electric motor resting beside him, a small machine silently waiting for the world to catch up. Decades later, great inventors like Edison and Tesla would rise to prominence. Their names would become legends, etched into textbooks and monuments. Their motors, refined, powerful, and widely adopted, would transform industry, transportation, communication. And underneath it all, beneath every rotating shaft, every humming engine, every spinning electromagnetic coil, lived Davenport's fundamental idea. Though history seldom remembers him, every electric motor in the world carries a whisper of his dream. His legacy is not loud. It does not shout from museums or appear in dramatic chapters of scientific history. His legacy hums. It rotates. It moves quietly through daily life like a soft, persistent heartbeat beneath modern civilization. And now, as you rest in the stillness of your night, imagine Thomas Davenport's quiet workshop once more. The dim glow of a fading ember, the slow turning of his small electric motor, and the hush of a dream that lived long before the world could understand it. His life reminds us that some of the most powerful innovations begin in silence, in isolation, in the hands of people the world never truly sees, yet whose work shapes every moment of our modern lives. Let this thought rest beside you like a calm companion. Let it bring you peace, a sense of quiet wonder, and a soft appreciation for the forgotten souls who moved history forward.
If this story has soothed your night, if it has helped your thoughts slow their pace and drift into a calmer rhythm, you're warmly invited to return to the Dozerian whenever you wish. You may subscribe if you like, not out of urgency, but simply so that more quiet stories can find you when the world grows heavy and sleep feels far away. Here, there is no rush, no noise, no pressure, only calming history whispered softly in the dark. Rest now. Breathe slowly. Let Davenport's quiet genius fade into your dreams, and may the night carry you gently into deep, peaceful sleep. Good night.